Ever wonder what it takes to join the Navy's most elite underwater team? Submarine jobs aren't your average 9 to 5. They're high stakes, high tech, and definitely not for the faint of heart. But before you dive deep, you've got to prove that you've got the brain power. So your Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB scores, are the gatekeepers to these roles. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel from Study.com. My name is Matt, and I'm a U.S. Army vet and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about understanding your scores on the ASVAB if you're looking to enlist in the U.S. Navy. We'll also dive into some Navy submarine ratings, or jobs, and what score you need to qualify for them. So without further ado, let's get into it. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests depending on whether you're taking the paper or computerized version. These subtests check out your knowledge in different areas like general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. The other areas are electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. You'll get a standard score for each of the subtests. So, what's a standard score? It's basically how you stack up against other people your age, specifically 18 to 23-year-olds in the US. The average score is 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So a 60, above average. A 40, below average. Pretty simple. Higher scores show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific military jobs. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For example, a percentile rank of 75 means that you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Here's where it gets a bit more customized. Once you're eligible to enlist, the Navy will use your ASVAB scores to determine what kind of job you're best suited for within the service. These jobs are determined using composite scores, also called line scores. These are created by combining your standard scores from various subtests that are relevant to specific military jobs. Each job, or Navy rating, has a minimum composite score requirement in one or more areas. For example, a technical job would look at your math and science scores, while a mechanical role will care more about your understanding of mechanics and tools. Your composite scores really dictate what jobs you qualify for, so they're worth paying attention to. Let's start with some of the more technical jobs under the surface. Electronics technician, or ET, and fire control technician, or FT. These are the brains behind the operations systems, from sonar to weapons control. To qualify, you'll need a line score of 222, and you can get there in one of two ways. Either by combining your arithmetic reasoning, or AR, math knowledge, or MK, electronics information, or EI, and general science, GS, or by going the verbal mechanical route with verbal expression, or VE, arithmetic reasoning, or AR, math knowledge, MK, and mechanical comprehension, or MC. Verbal expression is calculated by adding your word knowledge and paragraph comprehension scores together. Then there's missile technician, or MT. These are the people who handle the Navy's most powerful weapons, and it makes sense that the score needed is also 222, with the same combinations as ET and FT. You're going to need precision and total focus to earn this role. If you're more interested in mechanical systems, look into becoming a Machinist Mate, or MMA, or MMW. This job's still demanding, but the required score drops a bit to 210, and it's based on the VE plus AR plus MK plus MC formula. For those into logistics and admin, there's logistics specialists and Yeoman. These roles are crucial for keeping everything running smoothly on board. You'll need a line score of 200, and again, you've got two options. Either AR plus MK plus EI plus GS, or VE plus AR plus MK plus MC. Now let's talk about one of the most unique and challenging enlisted paths in the Navy. Submarine Seaman. This one's a little bit more complex. You'll have two score paths known as NFA and NFB. For NFA, you'll need a 252 on either the VE plus AR plus MK plus MC side, or the AR plus MK plus EI plus GS side. For NFB, you need 235 on one of those same combos, plus a Navy Advanced Programs Test, or NAPT, score of at least 55, and your total with NAPT needs to hit 290. That test isn't always required, but it can make a difference if you fall short on your line scores. And don't forget STS, or Sonar Technician, submarine. This job is all about interpreting underwater sound and trafficking enemy vessels. Like ET and FT, you'll need a 222 line score using either the AR plus MK plus EI plus GS combo, or the VE plus AR plus MK plus MC option. Your Armed Forces Qualification Test, or AFQT score, might be the most important score. It decides whether you can even enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so you have to clear that bar to move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of your scores on 4 key subtests. These subtests include arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math and word problems, and mathematics knowledge, which includes a variety of math concepts. The other 2 subtests are word knowledge, which tests vocabulary and word meanings, and paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you can understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning that if you score a 60, you did better than 60% of standard test takers. Each military branch has its own standards. Now let's talk about numbers and take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in each branch of the military. You'll need a high school diploma or GED to qualify for any branch of the military. The required score varies though based on which one you have. If you've passed the GED exam, you'll need to aim for a score of at least 50. With a high school diploma, however, you'll need a minimum score of 31 for the Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. The Coast Guard requires a 32. If your AFQT score is higher than the minimum, that's great. This opens up additional job options, potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonuses. Whether you've already taken the ASVAB and your scores aren't quite where they need to be yet, or you're still prepping, I'm here to give you some steps that you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself for the military jobs that you want. First, pinpoint both your strengths and your weak areas. If you haven't already taken the ASVAB, taking a practice test can really help you zero in on what you know and what you don't. Look at which subtests brought down your scores and which ones you excelled in. While it's important to address weaker areas to meet minimum requirements, excelling in your strong areas can offset a lower score in other sections. This balance can improve your overall test outcome, especially for composite scores or percentile rankings. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections that you struggled with. Using good study resources can really make a big difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources can help with personalized plans and practice tests to get you on track. In fact, 92% of users pass the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you notice that you're missing a lot, go back and review the lesson to make sure that you really know the material. A solid prep plan can really help you boost your score. You can also retake the ASVAB. You'll need to wait 30 days before your first 2 retakes, and after that it's a 6-month wait if you want to try again. So use the time that you have to your advantage. Also, keep in mind that you can use your ASVAB scores for up to 2 years to enlist, so make sure you plan accordingly. If you need to retake the ASVAB, consider using Study.com's ASVAB study guide and test prep resources and really zero in on what you need to study. And remember, even if you don't get the score for the role that you wanted, there might be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you. The goal is to maximize your strengths. So yeah, if you're aiming for a job in the Navy's silent service working on a submarine, your ASVAB scores really matter. These roles are high-tech, high responsibility, and high reward. And if you're anywhere near those 200-plus line scores, you've already proven you've got the mind for the mission. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with any questions or topics that you want for us to cover in the future, and don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. I'll see you in the next video, and you've got this.